Hello again, everyone. Zach Attack is here with my TNA Impact Wrestling review for tonight, Thursday, May the 3rd, 2012. Overall, tonight's Impact after last week's Friday night, well, not open night, open fight night. Okay, Impact tonight at okay Wrestling tonight, decent okay stuff. I did miss one match though. I was watching it at another person's house, my grandmother's house, because I'm visiting my mom, who is currently recovering from knee surgery. So I watched mostly the first hour at my grandmother's house. I missed the co-main event and made it in time for the main event. So overall, it was a decent impact, and we kicked things off with Ric Flair. Ric Flair was gonna confront Hulk Hogan for what happened last week during the whole Eric Bischoff send-off thing with the porta potty of chocolate syrup, not poop. Because I watched it again, I was like, yep, that was chocolate syrup. Anyway, it was the typical blah blah blah. Hogan, I'm not making you tell me what to do. Yeah, blah blah blah. And Hogan's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you what to do, Flair. You're gonna be a judge because you got that gut check. Or as I like to call it, TNA's version of Tough Enough. Especially with Al Snow involved. So Hogan's like, Rick, you're gonna be one of the judges. With Al Snow and Brother Love. I mean, Bruce Pritchard. Because Bruce Pritchard loves you, Rick. I miss Brother Love. It was a stupid gimmick, but I liked it. Old school wrestling at its finest. Anyway, that's what happened to end that segment with Rick not being a judge for the gut check kid, Alex Silva. We would see a lot of stuff happening throughout the show with Rick and Bruce Pritchard and Al Snow going through in the back, going through their thoughts on Alex Silva about the chances of him getting a contract. We'd find out that decision later on in the show. But on our first match, which was a Knockouts tag match, Brooke Tessmacher teaming up with Velvet Sky against Gail Kim and Madison Rayne. Is it just me, or they really bushing Brooke Tessmacher? Because again, for the third week in a row, 2 weeks ago it was a tag pin. Last week it was one-on-one non-title during open fight night. Tonight, Brooke Tessmacher did it again. Third's the charm, pinning the Knockouts champion for the third week in a row. I'm guessing a sacrifice match. Didn't really announce that match yet. But I'm guessing it will be announced. Brooke Tessmacher taking on Gail. Or what I really would love, a triple threat involving Velvet. So who knows what'll go down there. But it's not a decent opener. Especially with Brooke, the thing that got her the win, she did Gail's own finishing move. Eat the feet. Because I think Gail tried it and failed. But then Brooke didn't got it. She did. Brooke did Gail's own move. That is very insulting. So there you go. Brooke getting another victory. These are Knockouts tag. I've been saying a lot about the Knockouts, about their ability to really wrestle. So, these are Knockouts match. Gail got the moves in. So did Madison. And of course, Velvet getting her moves in. I would love Velvet at the title again. I've always been a big Velvet person. Tessmacher's okay. You know what I mean? So we'll see how she fails out if she does take on Gail at Sacrifice for the title. Beating Gail in non-title matches is one thing. It's different than beating her for the title. So we'll see if Brooke has what it takes to defeat Gail and get the title. On to our second match, which was involving the television championship. Before we get to that, tonight was Pick Your Poison night, and RVD and Bobby Roode revealed their opponents for each other. RVD would take on Jeff Hardy, and Anderson would take on Bobby Roode, as picked by the opposite. So I wait for those two matches. RVD and Hardy was soon to come after this next match, which was, like I said, the mandatory TV title match. Now, 2 weeks ago, D-Von defeated it against Gunner. Last week it was Bully Ray. This week it's Robbie T. Because Robbie E's been getting so many chances to get it back. Tonight it was all about Robbie E. His partner in crime, Robbie T. Rob Terry. It was okay. Two big men who don't wrestle that much. You know, doesn't have that much athletic ability. They're known for being brawlers. So this match was like kind of watching Kane and Khali. two stiff guys wrestling it out. Not as big as them, but still kind of like, you know, not much for wrestling ability, much more for fighting style. It was okay, the matchup. Kind of a screwy ending with Robbie E getting involved, grabbing he tried to get involved once, then he grabbed the list that Robbie T always brings to the ring and nailed Devon with it to cause a disqualification. And of course, they double team in the end. So we'll see what happens there. With Robbie E, I want Robbie E to stop feuding with Devon. Devon needs a new feud. You know, he start a feud with somebody. Like the Bully Ray thing, I would love to see another Bully Ray Devon feud. The last feud when they really broke up as Team 3D wasn't important enough. It was a decent feud, but feuding for a title, even if it's a television title, will help Bully Ray get more over. Instead of what they're doing with Bully Ray, making him fight against Austin Aries, which we'll get to in a moment. They had a little segment tonight. Well, I wait for that on our next match after that little disqualification with Bully Ray's ex-partner Devon getting the disqualification victory and the title. It was the first of two Pick Your Poison matches as RVD took on Jeff Hardy. Now these guys wrestled many times in TNA and WWE as well. This match was a decent matchup, but kind of a okay athletic matchup between these two guys. These guys always put on a decent matchup. Not probably one of the best matches they've ever had against each other. Especially with a little interference from Bobby Roode. Like a lot of people interfered tonight in matches tonight. I think the only match that didn't get interfered was the six-man tag. So the match was okay. Like they fought outside the ring a little bit. And had some good moves. A great, okay, athletic back and forth match. And Hardy took control. RVD took control. Then Bobby Roode came out when RVD was taking control. And then RVD was going to get Irish whipped by Jeff Hardy. And Bobby was going to hit RVD with it with the referee distracted. RVD was busted, however. And instead of hitting RVD, Bobby Roode hit Jeff Hardy. After that, RVD kicked him 1, 2, 3. Bobby Roode inadvertently helped RVD to win. And the interference continued on in our main event. So, Bobby Roode kind of accidentally helped RVD win. So there you go. RVD beat Hardy in an okay matchup, decent matchup. Then it was on to our next segment. I mentioned the whole Austin Aries Bully Ray thing. Well, of course, last week we saw the whole Jamie Boash thing with Eric Bischoff, where Bully Ray saw Jeremy cutting a promo in the back, saying how happy he was that Bischoff's gone and how they did the whole thing. The Bully showed up and bullied him as usual. The name Bully Ray makes sense, don't it? So Bully Ray's like, you want to say it? Somebody, Bishop, say it to my face. Say it in the ring. So Bully Ray pulled JB out in the ring. He was going to beat him up. And here comes Austin Aries. Well, Austin Aries and Bully Ray hasn't had a real match against each other. You know, the feud's been building for the last couple weeks. You know, after Bully Ray attacked Austin Aries doing an X Division title defense about a month ago, about 2 months ago. And they had tag matches together, of course, against each other, with Austin getting cheated from Bully Ray pulling the tights in a pin. And Austin's like, listen, Bully, you are bigger than me. It's because you fat and eat a lot. And then Bully Ray slapped him a bit, spit at him, and they had a little brawl. And made Bully's mouth bleed a la Cena from Lesnar. So, but not as bad, but still. So I'm guessing these two, they haven't, like I said, they haven't had a real one-on-one match yet. And it's kind of weird that Bully Ray would rather feud against Austin Aries, an X Division guy, instead of feuding with Devon and bringing kind of legitimacy back to the television title. But maybe if they fight it out, if Austin does fight Bully Ray or wrestles him in this matter at Sacrifice, better not be for the X Division Championship. Bully Ray will be as bad as a will be a bad X Division champion as Abyss was. You know, Abyss having a title is like the same. Bully Ray and Abyss having a title is like the same thing. They're both big guys. They're bigger than anybody in the X Division. So I hope Bully Ray doesn't fight for the X Division title. Just wrestles Austin, non-title at Sacrifice, and gets this feud over with. So Austin can feud against X Division guys, and Bully Ray can fight people his own size. So there you go. After that, I mentioned I missed the co-main event. AJ Styles Daniels against each other. AJ teaming up with Magnus and Joe against Kaz and Daniels and Angle. Like I said, I was watching over my grandma's house, visiting my mom, so I missed this match. I left after the Austin and Bullyweight competition because I was going to make it in time for the main event, which I did. So AJ and Samoa Joe and Magnus won this fight, but of course we had this whole blackmailing thing with Kaz and Daniels hovering over AJ's head. Said at the end of the match, after they beat him up in a post-match beatdown, Kaz and Daniels said, "AJ, you reveal the secret, or we will," because we've been seeing the document they aired last 2 weeks ago with Angle in their match. So there you go. They're going to reveal it some way or another, because AJ will face Angle at the pay-per-view. And Kaz and Daniels against Joe and Magnus. That's why they had 6-man tag tonight. So I missed that. On to my main event. On to Mr. Anderson taking on Bobby Roode. Now the theme of the night is interference. Interference during Robbie T and Diva match for the television title. Mention RVD Hardy match interference by Roode. Well, interference kind of again. With this no disqualification match. But before we get to that, we had the cut check thing, and Flair, let me say this. Alex Silva, I agreed with Bruce Pritchard's his thing on Alex Silva, saying he can do better. His performance last week didn't prove me anything. You know, it wasn't his best performance. He didn't do well. But there is such a thing as second chances. For example, he had a chance to do a promo. His first promo stunk to hell. You know, it was like, damn, it was like watching a Cody Rhodes promo almost. Anyway, or any other promo that sucked. Anyway, I'm just using Cody as an analogy. Anyway, then Alex got another chance by Ric Flair. And Alex he finally had some balls and did a killer promo about living a dream out of Canada. And Flair said no, but he changed his mind to yes. It was it felt kind of scripted. They sucked at the first promo. Then in the second promo, everyone kissed his ass and said, yes, you're hired. But we'll see, Alex. Prove yourself. You gotta prove it. Every night of the week when you wrestle for TNA, you gotta prove to everybody every night that you deserve it. So we'll see how Alex does. You know, he does have potential, but we gotta see if he shows his potential off. Or gets fired like Andy Roddick from Tough Enough. Because like I said, gut check is Tough Enough to TNA. So there you go. Now on to our main event. Now this match between Billy Ray and Anderson, no DQ match, it was a decent matchup. You know, it was kind of back and forth. Anderson took control early in the match. Then Bobby Roode took control. And, you know, it was a decent back and forth match. Kind of a good matchup there. And then Justin match was nailed towards the end with Anderson and Bobby Roode kind of fighting neck and neck here. Like I mentioned, interference in the other two matches earlier tonight. Jeff Hardy came out and interfered, getting his revenge on Bobby Roode. Because I mentioned Bobby Roode hit Hardy, causing him to lose against RVD inadvertently. So Hardy beat the crap out of Bobby Roode, nailing him with a chair. Then all of a sudden, Anderson, who's feuding with Jeff Hardy, now they have a match officially at Sacrifice, especially after what happened during the tag team title match last week. Anderson mud-checked Hardy, but then Anderson got nailed with a steel chair by Bobby Roode, causing him to capitalize on the distraction. 1, 2, 3, Bobby Roode wins his match. It was Bobby Roode and RVD won their matches. And RVD came out after the match and attacked Bobby Roode, but then Bobby Roode nailed a DDT on RVD on the steel chair, ending tonight's Impact. So tonight's Impact was mixed bag. You know, it was okay. Some cheesy situations, not too much interference. I mean, a lot of interference. So hopefully they limit the interference next week, especially since it is the last Impact before Sacrifice. So we'll see what happens next week. It was okay tonight. That is it for my TNA Impact review. See you all later. Have a great weekend. That might all been attacked by the review from Zach. Thank you again for watching. See you later. Yeah.